Hello everyone and welcome along to W3L Wrestling Showdown here as always on the W3L network. Thank you for joining me and for subscribing to this channel, which you really should do if you haven't already, because then you'll never miss an episode of Wrestling Showdown. Now, if you've been following us over the past few weeks, certainly you'll know that we put our Remedy event up online for you all to watch for free as a thank you from us to you. You will have seen that titanic ladder match. Nathan Reynolds versus Mike Musso. Neither man escaped unscathed from that match, but Reynolds suffered the most. He's banged his knee pretty badly. He said that strapped up, he's been taking painkillers, and he gutted his way through the tag team match that we had on Showdown last week. But I can reveal to you that he has exacerbated his injury, and as a consequence Nathan Reynolds is unable to compete here in W3L for the foreseeable future. Obviously all of us, and no doubt all of you, wish him well, and we will see Nathan Reynolds back in action very soon. This does mean that he is highly unlikely to be at our next live events, which happen on March the 31st in Gala Shields and April the 1st in Edinburgh. Not to worry, there's still plenty of fantastic W3L action on those live events, and you should make sure you are there. I'll give you ticket information in just a bit. We'll obviously bring you any information we have on Nathan Reynolds as soon as we can get it, so make sure you follow us online on our social media streams. This week's match we're about to bring you features somebody else who was involved in Remedy, Jason Reed. Hot off his victory over Dickie Divers a couple of weeks ago, he's in singles action yet again, taking on a newcomer, not just to W3L but to wrestling in general. Jason Reed has the unenviable task of tackling Abel Stevens. What can this newcomer do here in the World Wide Wrestling League? Let's all find out by going to ringside for this week's match. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is a singles contest. We got 186 pounds. This is Abel Stevens. His opponent, he comes from Strong River Island. He weighs 210 pounds. Jason Reed! Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Ford and CT1 Wrestling Showdown singles competition this week, featuring somebody that I'm sure you know fairly well, in the form of Jason Reed. Man who's been on a quest as of late to try and regain those tag team championships that he and Kevin Owens held for barely 5 minutes, much to their chagrin. But he's in singles competition this week, and he's taking on a man that I will guarantee you're not familiar with. This is Abel Stevens, who comes to us from the Future Shock promotion down in Manchester. Abel Stevens, a newcomer not just to W3L but to wrestling in general. He only debuted in January of this year, so it's an interesting thing to see that management have invited him in to W3L to take on Jason Reed. He obviously lacks a lot of experience, but he's got a ton of ability, does Abel Stevens, and this is a big opportunity for him. Again, he's had, I think, less than 5 matches in his career in total, and he is already in W3L, and of course he wants to make a big impact, and defeating Jason Reed would certainly do that. So it's going to be fun to see how both men cope with each other, because I will guarantee you Stevens has not been resting on his laurels. He's watched W3L Wrestling Showdown, he's watched Jason Reed. Reed, on the other hand, I'll bet he's seen nothing of Abel Stevens whatsoever. So we'll see how he shall adapt to this, and he's well, it wasn't quite as nice a cartwheel, but credit him for trying, I suppose. And obviously showing that whatever you can do, I can do just as well. To be fair, that is the much better cartwheel. I don't think there's really too much to say about that. If we want to see some wrestling, I think that's what we're going to get.
As both men lock up for the first time ever in their careers with each other, obviously. And Jason Reed immediately, as the wrestler got Abel Stevens gets the ropes. And it's going to be something of a feeling out process, I think, at the start here, because again, Reed's seen no footage of Abel Stevens, doesn't know what he's going to bring to the table. Whereas Stevens, I'm sure, will have, like I said before, studied Jason Reed's matches. I'm not sure how much advance notice he got he was facing Jason Reed, but he'll have genned up on him in some respect, I would assume. And it'll be a good thing for Abel Stevens just to show off what skills he has. Obviously he does lack the experience. Jason Reed debuted back in June of 2015. Abel Stevens only debuted back in January. So there's a big experience difference there. And Abel Stevens gets hold of Jason Reed. It's in that waist lock. And Reed back into the wrist lock. And Stevens a bit on the high pitch side when he gets caught in those wrist locks. Obviously there's pain shooting through your arm, so you can understand it. And this is something that I'm not sure how Jason Reed's really taking to this, because Abel Stevens has a unique sensibility. Is that a good way of putting it? He certainly does some unorthodox things. Choose my words carefully here. Some of his mannerisms are not what you would expect, I think, is basically what I'm trying to say. And Jason Reed, I'm not sure, doesn't really know how to take it. Right. So he just better spawn a couple of forearm shots in the corner. And that's a good thing for Abel Stevens though, because if he can continue doing what he's doing, it's throwing Jason Reed off. And it's perhaps leaving the opening for Abel Stevens to take the advantage in this match, but so far that's not really happened. Reed with the leapfrog and a forearm right in the face, and Abel Stevens goes straight to the floor. Probably the best move he could have done. Means that Reed can't try and pin him. It means he can slow the momentum down, he can break the flow of the action. Referee Keenan Swinney applying that 10 count. As I've already said, Jason Reed's been chasing the tag team title. He and Kevin Williams desperate to get a rematch against the contingency plan. I'm sure you've seen everybody by now, so you know exactly what went down there. But of course, everybody in W3L all wants to be the heavyweight champion, and wins and losses become so important as management look at what you're doing as they plan the next set of challengers for whoever the heavyweight champion may be at that time. Of course, currently Nathan Reynolds. So they'll be watching this match. Jason Reed would love to be the heavyweight champion. Of course, Abel Stevens would as well. Stevens taking his time getting in the ring, just prepared to let Reed wait for him, and just nails him with that kick. I think he'd be caught more in the shoulder. But one of the things Abel Stevens brings to the table, as it were, are these kicks, and you can see he's got these great long legs, which are fantastic if you're going to be doing kicking. He has a legitimate background in kickboxing, spent a good number of years training doing that. So his legs are really powerful. There's an ounce of fat on them, not that I've necessarily been close enough to actually see, but he's got such a great array of kicks at his disposal, and Jason Reed suffering some of them here. And this is what's made Abel Stevens certainly one of the ones to watch coming through the Future Shock Wrestling Academy, because of those kicks. I mean, he strikes really hard and he can hit you in a variety of ways, and it's not necessarily what people expect from him, but I think that could be to his advantage. And there, look at this, choking Jason Reed again. Those long legs of his means he can really drive that foot right in the throat of Jason Reed. Makes it hard to breathe, of course, when you get your windpipe squeezed shut by the sole of someone's foot. He goes for it again. I see the pace is slowed down slightly. Abel Stevens now in control of the match. This is where Reed's struggling, because he doesn't know what to expect. He doesn't know what Stevens will bring to the table, and he's already suffered some of those kicks. And I don't think he was prepared for them, or that form across the back. And Abel Stevens walks over him, just a sign of disrespect. That's more the psychology aspect of wrestling as he turns over Jason Reed in an attempt for the pinfall. You see Reed constantly fight back, he won't go down without a fight. And again, Abel Stevens using his legs to his advantage. This I think is where he's going to have most success in this match. With those kicks, those knee lifts, keeping Reed in the corner, be off his feet, not letting him gain some momentum. And what a kick right to the chest. That'll knock the air out your lungs. Stevens thinks he's going for another one. And he does. Right in the side of the pectoral muscle as well. If you've ever injured your pectoral, you know how bad that is. It means that when you try and move your arm, you can feel it pulling. And so it's sore just to hang on, a roll up. Jason Reed ducks the kick. Perhaps Stevens going to the well once too often there. But there, I talked about those variety of kicks, and he caught Jason Reed's arm and kicked him in the back of the head. His flexibility is fantastic. And something of an axe kick there. And Abel Stevens has really done a number on Jason Reed. It's the downside when you can't scout your opponent, you can't prepare for them. And these kicks have really worked out so well. Reed fired back with some shots to the midsection. Stevens not willing to make the break though, but he does. And a spinning kick. I'm sure there's names for all these different types of kicks, but I'm not 100% sure what they are. So if I say it's a kick and it takes down Jason Reed. And Abel Stevens, it's often been said that the best way to pin somebody is by putting a lot of body weight across the shoulders, and he certainly did that. Didn't get the job done though. But it's meant that Jason Reed's had to expend more energy in kicking out. Now, arguing with the referee, it's a bit of a rookie mistake. You don't want to turn your back on your opponent, so you just give them a chance to recover. And he's got Jason Reed in a Nirvana strangle, if you're a Jinsei Shinzaki fan. The Gokuraki stretch, the Japanese stranglehold if you like. Seems a variety of names. But Reed quickly back to his feet though, trying to elbow his way out. But ran at that shot from Abel Stevens. And one kick fills Jason Reed like a tree. And you notice of course Abel Stevens wearing those kick pads on his shin. So many wrestlers do, mainly just because they do, not for any real reason. I wouldn't say some big proper boots I suppose. But he wears them as a method of being able to kick his opponent even harder. Hang on, inside cradle. Reed took a lot of energy to muscle him down. There's another kick to the back of the skull. So those kick pads mean that Stevens can swing his feet even harder without any fear of perhaps injuring his shin, which of course all goes to benefit him and to the deficit, is that the right word, of Jason Reed. Detriment is probably a better one actually. But Reed not going down without a fight, and that was to his detriment. Abel Stevens with a handful of hair pulls him down. And again just taking shots to those kicks. It's going to be a big boost for his career if he's able to defeat Jason Reed on his first time ever on Wrestling Showdown, and certainly propel him up the ranks of contendership for the heavyweight title, I would think. Coming for a vertical suplex, and he does get a lot of height with it, but drives Jason Reed down nonetheless. This crowd not wanting to clap for Abel Stevens. And he went for a cartwheel and a knee drop I think, but Reed got out of the way. Maybe took a bit too long with that though. And Reed striking with his forearms, had some success with them in previous matches. Goes to the higher ground, and a drop kick takes down Abel Stevens. Jason Reed in for the cover, but just nets him a two. And he's building momentum here. and runs through his opponent. Back elbow, Jason Reed's got this going his way. Picks him up, and a body slam, and Jason Reed ends up going down as well. I think it just shows how much damage he's taken in this match. His body's got to be racked in pain. He's been kicked upside the head a whole bunch of times, taking some solid boots to the chest as well. Go for the Calvin recliner, but Abel Stevens gets out of it. There's that scouting that I mentioned before, and drives him face first into the canvas. And Jason Reed kicks out. Pretty sure he's never been covered like that before, at least not in the match anyway. But it's enough for him that he expended even more energy while kicking out. This is all playing into Abel Stevens' hands. Oh, Reed ducked it, and a kick to the shin. Super kick. The Netflix chiller, as he likes to call it. He's going to put away. He'll have to do it soon, I think. Hooks him up with a Calvin recliner and drops it down with it. Jason Reed in for the cover, and that nets him the victory over Abel Stevens. So Jason Reed scores the victory, but it was hard fought, and he earned every second of that over Abel Stevens here this week on Wrestling Showdown.
Another victory there for Jason Reed, but he still had his hands full with Abel Stevens. Now, I mentioned we have 2 live events coming your way. They are on Friday, March 31st in Galashiels, and Saturday, April 1st at the Southside Community Centre in Edinburgh. Tickets for them are available right now from W3LWrestling.com. If you get them from there, use the word Showdown and you can have 20% off those tickets. And make sure, of course, you have given us a follow on Twitter, a like on Facebook. Use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because something big is happening. Next week we're meant to bring you Championship Showdown. Now, as I'm sure you know, Championship Showdown sees 3 championships defended on the show. With Nathan Reynolds on the injured list, we cannot bring you a heavyweight title match. But what we can bring you is a tag team title match. The contingency plan are going to be facing the team of Liam Thompson and Big Dave Jeremy, and we will also be seeing Leah Owens defend the Women's Championship against the female she defeated for it, Sarah, who has cashed in her rematch clause. Both those matches will happen on our special edition next week. And in addition to them, Mike Musso has said that he will be in attendance, and he has invited the very good Mr. Ewan G. Mackey to come along and be part of next week's show as well. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that Mackey has recently been suspended from W3L, and of course ended up confronting Musso on an episode of Judge Rinder. There's a lot of animosity between these two men. If you saw Remedy, then of course you will know how Mackey was involved in the ladder match, much to Musso's chagrin. Will Mackey be there? Will he accept Musso's invitation and turn up here on Showdown next week? And if he does, what will happen? It promises to be an explosive edition of Showdown, so make sure you don't miss it. Subscribe to this channel. You'll be notified when it goes online. Again, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter and our website, all that kind of thing. And ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets, because we are getting very, very close to our next live event, Friday 31st of March in Galashiels, and then the following day in Edinburgh. Get your tickets and then join me back here in 7 days' time. Will Musso and Mackey meet face to face? You'll find out right here on Wrestling Showdown.